here we are for another deliciously motivating conversation. Hey, Deb, how are you?
Hi, Moira. I love the way you go deliciously motivating.
It was just like, what was the next part? Oh, right. I'm supposed to be motivated, not just stuck in the delicious part.
Yeah, I think that's, just D for Deborah being delicious. That's it.
That's right. And then Moira is the motivator.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Hi, Moira. Hi, listeners.
Hello, listeners. I'm looking forward to our conversation today. We're going to talk about life purpose, something that comes up a lot. But Deb just reminded me that what we like to do before we start our conversation is ask our listeners to just check in with their energy. See where are you? How are you feeling? How are you being in this moment? And rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being like feeling like a rock star, feeling like you can take on the world. And 0 is like I can hardly, right?
Hardly function, feeling frumpy.
Like, what
down.
What is these pair of broads going to be talking about? Don't know, want to hear them.
I'm wasting my internet talking to them. Yeah, those ones.
So just and just make a mental note. Where are you? And so, where are you, Deb? Where would you say? You're listening to your dog.
Yeah, quickly try to push mute. I would say, we've already been talking for an hour and a bit now.
As we usually do.
I know, as we do. And then we go, gosh, are we actually going to stop solving world problems and actually get on this call?
Yeah.
So for me, I would have said I was a 7 or 8, but then when I started talking to you, I realized I was probably about a 4 or a 5, realistically.
Okay.
When I started talking and actually getting from my ego mind to my heart and actually sitting where I was feeling, there was a lot that was heavy down on me.
Yeah.
So I probably would have said maybe a 4, realistically.
Okay. Good.
But now, after talking already for an hour,
yeah,
I'm definitely right up there.
Yeah, way up there. And and actually, listeners, Deb and I always do hang out and talk and solve our world problems and solve our own problems. And so, you know what? I'd say I was probably in a similar position. I would have put myself at maybe even a 3 or 4 when we first started. I've been working through some stuff, and but just talking and expanding our viewpoints. So I'm going to put myself around 6 or 7 now.
Yeah. And I think the beautiful thing with having Moira, everyone, is that we laugh about what's actually happening, not laugh at people.
Never.
No, we did it. No. Oh, you're like, never.
Did we? Oh, we might have.
Did we? More perplexed, actually. But no, it was great to even just to share my thoughts and hear Moira's side and hear Moira's stories and that. And I think that's really valuable to have somebody who, even just to listen to, an outside source of being able to express what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I can say anything to you, and
mm-hmm.
you're not going to judge me. You're going to hold that energy and that space and that beautifulness that's going to allow me to be,
mm-hmm.
and then laugh at me.
No, laugh with you.
Or laugh with me, but hold that energy and space. And I think that's a great bond that we both have.
Absolutely.
That we can do that. And yeah, definitely I was a low number until.
Yeah. No, and I, so thanks to you. And so, that in coming from my perspective, that is what I want to help our listeners feel. That I know this is not necessarily a two-way conversation, although we are going to be setting it up so that you can have two-way conversations with us. We will be inviting you to our Facebook group so you can actually interact with us a bit more, and because we'd love to hear how our conversations are impacting you, or what you do and what you don't like, and get your insights and questions. Yeah,
questions, because my mind is different to Moira's mind, mm-hmm. which is different to you being the listener and the person you're sitting beside who's also listening, and to the other person there. We've all got different perceptions on things. We see the one event, some sees black, some sees white, some sees grey, mm-hmm. Some see different shades of grey. We all look at things differently, and
others see purple all the time.
Well, I see gold and glitter. So, I mean, if we're really going to get down to it, yeah, purple. But there's different shades of that. So let's, mm-hmm. it's valuable that people give us that feedback to say, I like this, I didn't like this, what did you mean with that? Because it's helpful for everybody.
I absolutely love questions though too, because that's how we learn, that's how we expand our own awareness too. So questions are great for the person who asks them, but also the person who's being asked. It's a good thing to help develop a body of wisdom, but also to help us create that sense of connection. To go back to what you were saying a moment ago, Deb, about both of us, we've both supported and held space for one another to work through stuff that we've been going through in our lives. So it's to allow for that. We all crave that in one aspect or another, right?
Yeah, totally. And that's whether where somebody's holding space for you physically, right in your presence, or non-physically, as in the internet, listening to this podcast. We're holding space and energy for you as you listen and go through this, so that you can experience it. Sometimes you can read a quote online, you can go, oh, I can feel that. That's another level of holding space and energy for somebody else.
Yep, absolutely. So this was
now we've got on a big tangent about.
Well, no, we have gone on a bit of a tangent.
Back in.
I'm going to bring us back in, because here's the thing. This is a beautiful tangent to go into, to talk about this whole piece about life purpose. Because, so often I have conversations all the time with people, and Deb, I'll be interested to hear your take on this, but I have people that recognize that I'm following my life purpose. My calling, my purpose is to hold space for people to let go of the obstacles, the mindset blocks, the limiting beliefs, the lack of feeling like you're worthy. My purpose is to help bust that out, break through that, and create a better path. Create the thriving, the uplifted, the access to your own inner calling. And so by doing that, it doesn't matter what I do. That's the constant thread through everything that I do. Every word out of my mouth, every action I take, everything I say yes to, the thread is there. In the conversations I have with many people, they think that life purpose is, number one, career oriented.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And that it's something out there. It's something that I'm going to have bestowed upon me. Whereas it's always been within you. It's about your unique gift to this world and this life experience. And it's always there. We can't get away from it. Sometimes it takes on different forms. But like I say, what's your take on that, Deb?
You've hit the nail on the head exactly. And I think I'm the same. For me, my life, like someone said to me one time, if I gave you $1 billion, what would you do with your life? Mm-hmm. And I went, I would reach more countries.
Same thing as I'm doing right now. Absolutely.
Yeah, it didn't even enter my, it just went, I would reach more countries. And I think I said fricking quicker, like it would be like, and I remember thinking, and then they looked at me like, oh, and I remember going, oh, is that what you wanted to hear? And they went, well, no, we want to know if this is really what you love doing. I said, look at me. Do I love doing what I'm doing? Do I speak with vibrancy? Do I have a zest of life or whatever? Do I light up? Mm-hmm. If someone's got an issue and I'm going to help them with it, look at those things. Yep. Is this what it's about? Why would I want to? They're like, oh, don't you want to lie on a beach somewhere and, get a private jet and go somewhere? And I'm like, yeah, but if I get a private jet, I have to talk to myself. I look at the people I meet when I'm on a plane, all these little things. Now I'm not going to turn down a private jet, but I mean, I get to meet amazing people. Yeah, just once. I do get meet amazing people on planes.
I love traveling for that aspect, meeting new people, different people. Yeah.
There's so much. But your life purpose, I think we have people go, what are you going to do when you leave school? What are you going to do when you grow up? Let them be. Let them feel that stuff for themselves. We don't have to have a textbook that you have a certain time frame to do this. You meet a partner and people go, oh, when are you getting engaged? When are you getting married? When are you having a baby? It's like, well, actually neither of those, stop putting pressure on me. your life purpose is what you're living and breathing right now. And you may feel, but it can change. You may feel your life purpose is to serve from the heart and do what I do. But then the moment I became a mother, mind you, I didn't do this when I was had a child. Your life purpose changes. My world changed. The goalpost changed in my world. So my life purpose then was to bring this daughter up the best I possibly could. And if that meant doing A, B, C, D or whatever, then that's what I had to do and still function in whatever it was. But your life purpose is whatever you're living and breathing right now. Like what you're displaying and demonstrating and breathing in and out is already happening. But don't beat yourself up that, I think that's the thing, is don't beat yourself up that you're not on life purpose or your life's tracks or whatever, because you're doing action steps towards whatever you'd like to achieve all the time.
But
Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but don't you think to some degree everything you're doing is contributing to that actual purpose?
Absolutely. Everything. But society says you have to do this, this and this.
I know.
And it's that whole,
I know.
No, I'm on
but
track.
You know what? That's
I go to a course to do this so I can grow. Or I go to, I fly on a plane so I can meet other people, so I can share their wisdom and get ideas from them that it can help me build a workshop or something, or that's all part of my life purpose.
Yeah, I totally get that. But where I'm coming from with what I was trying to say was that I think that there's a common thread through all of our life purposes, regardless of what stage we're at, whether we're just starting out or we're a wee bit older like me. From a soul level, our purpose or our soul purpose, which aka life purpose, is to figure out our patterns, all of them. What makes us tick? What makes us light up? What's our preferences? Where do we prefer?
What gets your juices flowing?
Yeah. What gets your juices flowing and what doesn't? What makes you feel like you are on track with what you're called to do and what doesn't? Then the next part of it is to love and accept all that is. So even that part, you know that part, and so many people do this. They should themselves, or they say, oh, I procrastinate all the time, or I don't have the motivation to do this, and they criticize themselves. What's really hard to feel in alignment with any kind of sense of meaning or life purpose if you're always criticizing yourself and saying, I'm not good enough, or comparing yourself to somebody that you think is in complete alignment with their purpose or their calling.
I think that's the thing, because I know when my daughter was getting into that last year at high school, before she was going to go to university or whatever she was going to do for a life purpose, they put incredible amount of pressure on her. But even the year before that, they put a lot of pressure on them. This is 2 years before they leave high school, of what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And the brain noise, the brain chatter I saw in my daughter was pretty freaky. And I'm like, Sophie, just go with the flow. If you want, she's like, but Mum, I need to make a decision because all my university degrees have to be based around this. I'm like, and I said, you don't have to make any decision. If they will take you. No, Mum, you don't get it. We have to do this, and then we have to do this, and you have to have this in 2 years beforehand. And it was mind-boggling.
That's like the social structure and peer pressure that sets that up. Poor kid.
Yeah, but when we talk about that life purpose, she's now in the Air Force training to be a medic. And when I go back, we talk about patterns. When I go back, she had so many injuries from her playing sport, high level sport, that her body was impacted, that she, right from 5 years, 6, 7 years, she had so many injuries that she would investigate, like she'd dislocate a shoulder. So she would go and do the investigating about the shoulder and work out all the muscles and what works and what doesn't. And she would train differently to help heal that shoulder. And so I was always like, oh my God, this is random. Why would you want to do that at 14? Investigate the shoulder muscle.
and now you know why.
That's been her, like we talked about patterns.
Yeah.
That's been her life purpose for so long.
Yeah. And that's the thread. And so even her, she may have thought, I don't know why I'm being so drawn or so motivated to go and figure this out and understand this. But you see, that's just such a brilliant example of she was following it. She had this inner directive that it's almost like from a soul level, we can see start to finish of our own timeline in this life, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's what was going to give her meaning. She probably was fascinated and probably couldn't put the books down when she was working on figuring things out and understanding.
It's going back to that, it's so clear. It was so clear on seeing it now, but that was her life purpose, that she was living and breathing and dreaming it and sleeping it because she had that purpose. But if I said to her, you're going to go into the medical field when you're older because of this, she would have gone, I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's too hard to work. There's no way.
Yeah.
And I never took the time in my mind to go, oh, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was about not me. It wasn't about me to tell her what to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was for her to find her own feet and give her all the opportunities in front of her and let her pick and choose. Because if I tell her what to do, she's not, it's going to be harder for her to do.
Yeah.
But she's better to find her own feet on that one.
And I love what you just said, and I completely agree with you. I think you and I have talked about this before, that as a kid, I wanted Dad to sort of help me or guide me or give me, here, go choose that, choose this. And he wouldn't, because he was very much going to find it out yourself. You're going to figure out your life path by yourself. And so I can look back and see that everything was right. But sometimes, and perhaps there needs to just be a bit of a balance between providing space for somebody who says, I want to figure out my calling or my true path or my mission, that you do need to offer support, but you cannot should somebody into it. Like you were talking about Sophie's peer pressure of you have to make up your mind, you have to take from these options. It's like, well, if that wasn't the right thing, maybe it was too much of a force. This kind of stuff cannot be forced. I think that's what I'm trying to get to.
And I think there is so much pressure on, I know in the New Zealand schools there's so much pressure to do that you have to do this and you have to have this, and and society is bound by rules. Society is bound by such big rules and regulations, and you have to do that to live life or live under that, and to think we're never going to have those is just absurd.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to put that pressure on those children.
Yeah.
They don't know, they're still going through hormones, they're still going through lack of sleep, food, internet,
hormones.
Hormones. Their emotions are all over the place, let alone to find out what they want to do in life.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back on her pattern, you talked about that pattern, that we're always doing it. Yep. Looking back on her pattern, it's so flipping clear that that's what she was going to get involved in.
Right. And that's where I'm coming from when I say to somebody who is saying, I need to find out my life purpose, is to say, watch your patterns and trust. You and I have talked about this before too, about really coming into a sense of trust of, I'm always in the right place at the right time. I'm always attracting the right opportunities and saying yes to the ones that align with me and no to the ones that don't. But at some point you will be able to go, oh, look, I light up every time I get the opportunity to speak about this subject, or I love when people react to me this way, or I get to do this with people. And so if it's becoming a head game of, I don't see it, you just need to watch the pattern. Maybe you just need to dig a little bit deeper.
And it is that headspace of, I can't see it. See it. It's that desperation, that's that frustration. Well, I can tell you now, you're not going to fricking get anything out of that headspace. Exactly. That headspace is just going to go full on, and you're not going to get jack shite. Mm-hmm. But when you sit present and just breathe, people meditate, people don't meditate. It's just about just taking a moment and stopping. Mm-hmm. My favorite thing you've taught me is to put your hand on your heart and breathe.
Yeah.
And even just do that, and then ask yourself that quality question.
Yeah.
What is my pattern, or what is my life purpose, or what's my calling, or whatever you'd like to word it,
What makes me light up?
what,
Absolutely.
what gives me that spark? Where's my glitter? Where's my joy? Where's my rock star? It's there, but it's just taking the time to stop and listen. And I think that's the other thing, is taking the time. I've had a person who's has all the tools in the world to take themselves out of the funk they're in. And, interesting, just recently, I said, have you been doing this? Oh, it takes too much time. Oh my gosh, the exercise is literally a 3-second, if that, exercise that could take you from...
To do a reset.
Yeah. And I'm just like, takes too much time. It's not even 3 seconds. It's like not even 3 seconds.
Yeah.
5 seconds if you really would really...
if you're really in a funk. Absolutely.
Yeah, really. But I'm just like, it takes too much time. My gosh. And we say we're so busy, we have no time in our day. I can't sit down and work out. I can't sit down and answer this question. Yes, you can. You can do it when you're sitting at the traffic lights. You can do it when you're sitting on the bus. You can do it when you're sitting waiting on someone to, do it in between the adverts of TV. If TV's so gosh damn important for you, just stop, breathe, shut your eyes, hand on your heart. Ask yourself that question. Get present. That's a 2-second flipping exercise.
2 second. And here's the thing. I love that you brought that into our conversation about life purpose, because something that I often say to my clients, and anybody that'll listen to me, obviously, is that when we get into that, it takes too long, or I don't have time. You know what we're doing? We are telling ourselves that we don't matter.
Yes. Yes, you're bloody right there. Yeah. Yes.
And so then if you take that a step further, I don't know about you, but I don't like doing things for people that tell me I don't matter.
Yeah.
So why would you do anything for yourself if you keep saying you don't matter? You don't come up on the list of things that I need to arrange my time to do. And like you just said, Deb, it is not a burden. You stopped at the traffic lights. It's really funny. For me, I drive into the city twice a week. And there's so many people that say it's because it's an hour drive in and an hour drive out. So many people that know me both here where I live and in the city go, oh my gosh, Moira, that's amazing. That's so much burden to put 2 hours on today. And I'm like, no, that's my time. That hour drive in and the hour drive out, it's my time. I get to listen to audiobooks. I get to sing. I get to just meditate on what's going on.
And whatever mood you're in is you can do it. And it's your time to go, I'm going to listen to an audiobook. No, actually today I want to sing.
Exactly.
No, today it's your choice of what
my choice. Yeah. So it's a gift. See, that's a gift. But here's the thing. It's because I communicate to myself that I'm worthy. I matter.
You look at it. Yeah.
To do that. And I think this is a really, really important part, because that life purpose question that so many people get discombobulated by. That's a cool word, eh? I like that word.
Yeah, discombobulated. I like that. I'm going to use that more often. Yeah.
It's there. It's asking for you to pay attention, to see that pattern, like we've been sharing with you, that you are always on it. Your purpose, your calling, you're on it.
Yeah.
If you're alive, there is somebody that said that. They put their hand up in a class to this teacher and said, how do I know what my life purpose is? Or how do I recognize if I'm living my life purpose? And he said, are you breathing? And his person says, yes. He says, well, then you're living your purpose.
Oh, wow. I've got my erecties on that one. That's a great one.
Isn't it?
Straight away. Bang. Yeah, I've still got my
Debz, goosebumps. We know we've landed in the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. That's you're right. That is exactly it. But look how quick that is, straight away. And then that person could have gone, oh no, that's not it. I'm not doing that, and got all offensive.
A lot of people would.
Yeah, because it was said so quickly. But the truth is, if you listen to what that man said, that's exactly it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you know the thing I was thinking of as you were saying that is that It can't just be as simple as, are you breathing, then you're living it. Because a lot of people want
Well,
this.
that sounds too simple.
Well, they just want this big beam of light coming down and angels singing and la. There it is. Now I know I am.
Yeah, down comes that. Yeah, exactly. There it is. Oh, there's my life purpose. I've had that vision. That's what I need to do. Oh, wow. Well, I never got a vision. I just woke up one day and I went, well, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I just this is it. Yeah. And for me, my first client was actually my hand therapist. And I remember her saying to me, what drugs are you on? And I was like, what do you mean? She said, you can't be this kind of person unless you're on drugs. She said, I saw you. You were a wreck. And now you're just loving life and loving what happened to you. She said, this is not right. You must be on drugs. What drugs are you taking? And I said, I'm not. I'm just truly grateful in my heart. Yeah. Not grateful in my head. I'm grateful in my heart for what's happened because, and she became my first client because she went, I want some of that cake that you're eating type thing. Yeah. And then my next person, I thought, oh, I can make money from this. This is like, oh, this is even more of a bonus.
I get to do what I love doing and I get paid for it. Oh my God. Yeah. Who would do that? And your dog agrees. See, when you get confirmation like that, that is totally saying, yep, especially from the animal world.
Especially from the animal world. I was quick to hit mute on that one. Yeah, but it is. It's the dog's living its life purpose, saying, "Hey, what's happening? What's happening?" Yeah. I'll keep my finger over the mute in case she does that one again.
She's just giving us confirmations when we get things right.
Yeah, that we've got this one on track. Yeah. It is about what's important and what we do that feeds our soul and what gives us, we can call it joy or happiness or anything. It's whatever it is ultimately.
Yeah. And you can't label, like you can't look at somebody else who's following their path and say, well, you're off track, right? Because that's actually, there's a quote, and I don't know who said this, but basically every single path that we're on leads home. So it doesn't matter if you've got hundreds and hundreds of people on the same trajectory as you, or if you're the only one on it. You still go in the right direction and we'll get to where you're going. We're not here to convince everybody that your way is the only way. Right?
Absolutely, I agree.
So, because that's the thing, is that sometimes, and this is sometimes how people become the guru or the person that is the they think they're the leader, because people give them the power to say, tell me what's the path, tell me what my purpose is, and I'm going to follow you. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
And people
go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, people pay so much money to find out their life purpose instead of actually realizing it's already within them.
Exactly, which is why I'm saying that it's so important to keep coming back to your own authority. Because to the point that we were just talking, and I was being silly, but there was a point in there about that expecting that your life purpose message is going to come in this big beam of light and you're going to hear angels singing. That's saying that it's coming outside of you. It's coming from somewhere else outside of you, and it can't. So no matter how much money or how much following another person to tell you what it is, it's not going to work. Now, the caveat to that, and I can speak for myself, and I know Deborah's work is very much about this too, is that we can help you get to the place where you recognize it in yourself. But the real messaging here is, that's what it's all about. From my perspective, that's what I'm doing, is I'm holding space. I might be giving you ideas or mindset pieces around, hey, how about look at it this way? How about use these words? Try this. Try it on and see if it resonates with your heart. Coming back to you, right?
Yeah. And I think, and I mean, I know we did joke about that beam of light and all the rest of it. But I mean, we already know it's, and it's bringing what you and I do, and some people do, is bringing our unconscious conscious.
Yes, exactly.
And if you worded it, if I word it like that, it just means you've already got it inside you. So we're just pulling it out for you to go, oh, I get it. I get it. But we're not telling you, you need to do this and you need to do that. I'm conscious of not, and it is holding that space and that energy and actually going, what's inside of you? I'll help pull that out of you, because I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong, or I'm not here to tell you what you can do or what you can't do. That's not my role. My role is to go, what's inside of you, and let's pull that out, and let's fertilize that and let that grow and build, and how can you do strategies behind that, and what complications have come in, and let's resolve those complications. Are they from past fears or anything? That's what I do, which is what you do as well. So it's about, that beam of light's already within you, and we're just there to scrub away the tar for it to shine out brightly, or whatever.
Well said. And it's very true. It's like, one of the things, the way I see a lot of the sessions that I do, the one-on-one sessions that I do, is that I'm sitting, holding space, allowing people to open up and visit their own potential and have a visit. Like I said, it's like trying on, how does that make me feel about myself? Do I feel lit up? Do I feel weighted down? Those are yeses and nos. The lit up is your yes, and the weighted down is your no.
Well, the other thing is when we talk, like this morning, and I spoke to you, we talked, and when I heard my words outside my mouth, that's what made me go, oh yeah, you do have a problem, Deborah. You are, like, what you're saying is different to congruent with what your body is, because I could hear my words, and when you hear your words, and so that's what we're doing, is we're listening to your words and we're hearing your emotion around stuff. So when you hear your words, you can actually go, oh, this doesn't feel right. And I said to you, and I had to giggle, because one of the things I said to you was, gosh, Moira, if you were doing this in your business, I would kick your butt. And because I could hear myself going, oh my God, I did that. I completely dropped this ball, and I dropped this. And I would have said to you, what the heck are you doing, Moira?
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Let's snap you out of that, very quickly. And when I could hear myself, I was like, okay, yep, I can hear that. Yeah, that's not congruent to who I am. That's not on my purpose. That's me getting distracted. Let's pull myself back to what's important.
And that's beautiful.
When you hear it externally.
We point in there too, though, is that you took a pause. You have enough of a sense that you're worthy to just take a pause to watch and witness those words coming out and go, hey, words coming out my mouth aren't the same as what my feelings are, or what my heart energy is.
Yeah, and what my body's feeling, because if I'm talking something and I've got that clenched butt, or that closed fist, or that tightness, or I can feel
clenched jaw.
Clenched jaw. Yeah, if I can feel that, or I can feel my heart racing, I do listen to my body quite a lot, then I know I'm not congruent with who I am and what I'm doing or anything. I know I'm out of alignment, because when I'm in flow, things go with ease.
Right.
A lot of things go with ease.
But here's the other point too about that, is that it's really important for us to accept those points. Like your point about when you clench up, or you got your fists clenched, or your butt clenched, or your jaw clenched. That there's obviously something going on there. You can't change it until you go, oh, isn't that interesting? It is true what it is. It's not right or wrong. It's just
you've got to hear
insight.
it. Yeah.
You do have to hear it. You do have to feel into that sensation. Absolutely. And then have some appreciation for, this is restrictive. This is showing me a lack of preference. So now I need to make another choice. Right?
Yeah. And our internal talk, would you allow people to talk to you like that? That's another Grady that humbles me, is I hear myself talk to myself about certain things, and I go, whoa, if someone was talking to me like that, would you accept that?
Absolutely.
And I go, no.
Nope.
Nope.
No, I say that.
It is that, and our life purpose is be okay with the decisions you make. Be okay that if you feel you stuff up, be okay with that. Then it's a lesson, and watch what you implement next time, etc.
Just be aware, absolutely. A friend of mine talks about that word fail. I've probably said this to you before. Fail, F-A-I-L, is first
I love
attempt.
the way we spell some of our things.
Well, I have to because it's fail.
Our accent.
That's the accent. But fail stands for first attempt in learning.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
Oh, I guess I didn't tell you that. I love that one. And so doesn't that feel so much lighter? It's like then fail can't be a punishment because it's just me. That's my first attempt at learning something.
I really love, I've got my goosies, just so you know, I really love that, because that alone is just an ease in your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Just even saying, instead of, I failed at this, first attempt in learning. I love it. Absolutely love it.
And because what made me think of that was what you just said about, okay, so you stuff up, AKA fail. Mm-hmm. You do it differently next time. It's like, so that is proving the point that it's your first attempt.
Yeah.
So, okay, didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, but I can choose something different next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will choose something different next time.
Yeah, I really like that, and I'm going to learn from that. Yeah, perfect.
That's because we play so much into that inner judge, right? Fail, you can't fail. And it goes back to the indoctrination we were talking about earlier too, about the shoulds and the, we have to make choices and be in alignment with our purpose and find our calling. And again, like I say, so many times that to a lot of people is a career choice or a business or something like that. It doesn't always have to be that, right? It can weave in and out of all aspects of your life. I know mine does. My purpose is I am the living embodiment of what I do. Yeah. And I think I see you as being that way also.
It's definitely walking your talk for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
me too.
It's definitely walking your talk. And I listen to my body quite a bit. And for me, I know if I'm out of alignment of what feels congruent with me, if I'm out of my life purpose, or whatever, if I'm just not doing what I love, my body will tell me very quickly.
Right.
I'll get headaches, or I'll feel heavy, even just down to those things. If I'm not listening to that, recently I was doing some stuff and my ankle started swelling, and that's like I was like, oh, I got ankles that swell, like what? And so I realized I had to really go, okay, what are you doing that's not going incongruent with who you are? Until I looked, I went, well, actually, you haven't exercised, you have been eating junk, you have been, and I went, and to me they were simple things, but I took the time to stop and reflect and go, what is this? And in the moment I started going, okay, this is actually about self-love, self-nurturing, take a step back and look at it. And then, I just changed a couple of things and everything started flowing again. And so I think, so if you're out of your life purpose or out of alignment of what you love to do and what brings you joy or glitter or sparkles or your rock star, look at it, stop and look at it, because those physical symptoms and everything else will come in, and people will come in and slam you on certain things to wake you up, to pulling you back to reality. People say, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing this. And it makes you go, actually, you're right. Should I be doing this or should I not? And it's not that other people are saying that stuff, but it just gives you that moment to question yourself on what's important to me, not what they're telling you, what's important to me. If I think they're wrong, then but that's just their belief, that's that. But what's important to me, me, that's self-love again.
Self-love and inner authority. Right. Because and to your point, sometimes we hear from another person, oh, that's the better way, or you shouldn't do it that way. And we've created, or we've attracted that as our own guide. And other times it's because somebody else is sounding off on their own agenda with their judge speaking. Right. And so it's the discernment and seeing, does that help me? Is that steering me back into congruence, or is it making me detour off into keeping somebody else happy?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's those outside influences that have such a large impact, which we're going to talk about on another podcast.
Yes,
anyway,
we do. That's a big one. That's a big one. And
that's probably a double whammy one, that one there.
It could well be.
Well, look out for all the people who have influenced me, positive and negative, in my life, because guess what? I might just be talking about you lot.
Stay tuned to this channel.
Yes, stay tuned to that one, because there's been a lot of life first attempted learnings with them, with people.
Yes.
But I think the key thing about your life purpose is don't push it. Yeah. Just be present.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I would say, just be present. Just, it's there. Don't.
It's there, and it's also, this is the thing we're talking about, giving your power to other people's opinions and such. It's so important to, just because you look at other people and say, oh, look at all these people, they're following their pattern. Look, Debz figured it out. Look, Moira's figured it out. They're all in alignment with it. And so what's wrong with me because I'm not, or I don't think I am, or I can't see it.
Yeah, what's wrong with me because I can't. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So that, to me, that's the piece of dialogue that has no bearing. It's got, do you know what? The other thing that just landed in my mind as I was formulating this thought is it's going to derail you finding it in anyway. The more you think they have it and I don't, you're not in your heart, and you're not listening or watching your own patterns. You're not tracing, where do I feel lit up or joy or connected to source energy or doing the thing that I could do all day long.
Yeah, right? Yeah, and I think that's the thing is beating ourselves up over that stuff. That's doesn't have to be in comparing. You're right. It's definitely an interesting one. You can't, when you're in desperation, you can't make decisions.
No.
And I'm firm on that.
I agree with you.
When you're desperate and spiraling, well, you can make decisions, but they're ones that are going to come back and bite you so freaking hard in your butt and leave marks.
Absolutely. And so it's really key to if you notice yourself in desperation, you acknowledge it and defer the decision.
Yeah.
Wait,
just
until you
sit. That's that hand on the heart.
Hand on your heart. Absolutely.
Which we will talk about the wisest way to make decisions. That's definitely a podcast as well.
Yeah.
But it is that, just take a moment, and everything can wait. Mm-hmm. Everything can wait, whether it's a minute or 5 minutes or whatever. Decisions, everything can just wait.
Everything can wait because you matter. You matter, and that's super important. So everybody,
what a lovely way to end that.
This is a beautiful way to end it. And so I'm putting my hand over my heart. Deb's putting her hand over her heart. And dear listeners, we'd love you to just check back in. How do you feel? How do you feel about your life purpose and your alignment with it? And on a scale of 0 to 10, where are you? Did it move at all as you were going down rabbit holes with us?
Yeah, rabbit holes for sure.
Yeah, this has been a great conversation, and I would say that it has really brought my energy up. I said I was maybe a 5 or a 6, I think. I would say I'm more like 8 or 9 now. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm ready to tackle any complication that comes my way. Beautiful. For somebody or something that's even going to try and take me off purpose. That's the way I look at. Yeah, I've got my Wonder Woman drink bottle. Definitely. Definitely, that's the way I feel like now. Just after talking. Beautiful. With this.
Well, listeners, we hope that you've enjoyed this, and we look forward to interacting with you in our Facebook group and carrying this conversation on more.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and thank you, Moira. Thank you, deliciously motivating mindset.
Deliciously motivated mindset peeps.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, listeners. Thanks, Deb. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.